Hi you. So it's been a while since I've been here on YouTube, but I just want to let you know that all is fine. I'm doing great, just super busy with work and everything. But that being said, today I want to talk about a little bit about the Archangel Azrael. Now, I am addressing this thing because I was just talking to one of my clients, and he has like issues with like a lot of beings messing with him, and specifically trying to talk to him and make sure that he stays here in the physical universe, that he reincarnates, that he's feeling bad, wrong, and guilty for just being a normal human being. And so like I'm looking into like, okay, who's messing with you? Why are they doing this? And like what's the whole hierarchy? Like I want to find out the whole picture. So I started looking into his case, and one thing I find out is like, again, I worked with him previously, and it's been the Archangel Michael that was messing with him, and those guys, like archangels, we have good beings and bad beings, and some of them are really icky. And the thing is, with the whole angels, archangels, deities, like gods and stuff like that, there's one that can be okay that you read about and that you feel like, oh my god, like Jesus and all this stuff, like they're very good to me and stuff. But at the same time, there are entities and other beings who will label themselves God, the Archangel, the Angel, the Spirit Guides, and all the other things. So these entities, a lot of times, will try to pick up the labels and be the thing we're calling for help for. So like, God, please help me. And you have a demonic being coming into your space and helping you because demonic being is calling itself God, or your spirit guide, or someone else that you're asking help for, but not being specific. So a lot of times they come into our space because we are inviting them without really knowing about it, or other times they just really interfere with us because of our past lives, or we're just being targeted. So Archangel Michael is one of the icky ones, but now the Archangel Azrael, the angel of death, the angel that helps people to cross over and go to heaven. Wow, what an icky being! Like the thing I'm getting and finding out is like the whole picture of this like Azrael comes over and tries to help people that like passed away. He's gonna help them to, okay, like let me show you heaven. I'm gonna bring you there. And I'm looking at this whole picture when I'm out of body, and what I'm seeing is like he just like tries to tell a lie and basically trap people in the angelic realms. Now there's a few things. It might seem like, oh, it's a great realm, like like it's the heaven, it's the our like angelic realm, everything's fine. And I'm looking there like everything seems normal. Like people are happy, they're watering the plants, they're swimming in their boat, everything's fine. But the longer I'm being there, the more I'm finding out everything is a true man show. It's basically everyone's set up. Their whole life, they just pass away from Earth and they cross over and they like come here into this angelic realm. What happens is that they live a normal, happy, peaceful life. That it's repetitive as can be. They forget all of their memories and they live with one little thing. I am gonna water the plants. And the whole day the person's watering the plants, watering the plants. But then the thing is, everyone has their own little job, their own little thing that they're gonna do, and it's like having a scenario, having yourself being programmed, and like, you wake up in the morning and you have to get on the boat, and the whole day you're gonna be like rowing and rowing and rowing, and just like being in the scene, like rowing around and like always swimming in one lake. Like, okay, is that all you want to do for the rest of your life? And I'm looking, some of those beings have been there thousands of years, sitting on a bench holding a book. They're not reading it, they're just looking and staring at it. For thousands of years, they're stuck in that one little place, reading that one little thing, and they turn the page. And that's it, they don't do anything. Like, you try to interact with beings over there, and it's like watching Greta Thunberg trying to speak on her own opinion about the global warming and not reading a script. Like when she has a script, and she can go on and on and on and talk about how bad it is. But if someone asks her own opinion, all of a sudden she starts stuttering and don't know what to say, and it's a big deal. And all of a sudden she's basically saying everything opposite of what the script was about. She can't talk for herself. So the same thing is with beings over there who are like, like you ask them a question like, "Hi, who are you?" And they tell you the name. Like, well, what are you doing here? Oh, like Archangel Azrael helped me to come here, and angels are very loving, and I'm just having a nice life here. And they're enjoying their little thing. But they did the same thing for hundreds and thousands of years, rowing a boat for thousands of years. And I'm looking at this whole picture. Okay, I'm trying to ask a conversation like, okay, so what happened when you crossed over, or like crossed over? They mentioned the Azrael coming over and helping them to like go there. Okay, but what happened before your death? I don't remember. What would you like to do now? Oh, I just want to get back to rowing my boat, reading my book or something. Okay, but what do you want to do later? And they're like, what do you mean? And they, like, all of a sudden they're looking at you like you're the devil, and they're questioning you like, oh, like, who? You're the intruder. We should get the angels to take you out. You're the bad guy. And you're trying to help them to wake up, to ask them more questions, to make them at least realize that, like, hey, you're in the system, you're in the program, something's wrong here. And they're not seeing the whole picture. So I'm looking around some more, and what I'm finding out is, like, all the beings who are in that, like, angelic realm, they're basically like gears in the mechanism. Like, they're making everything work. And their energy is being drained out to power up and create its realm and extend it. So every person who comes there, and let's say they might like fishing, they might like rowing, they might like just walking in the park. The thing that they like will be extended realm. And this realm is infinite. The more beings you bring there, the more the realm will like expand. And it's basically every single person does a repetitive thing 24/7. Every single minute of the day, they're just walking in the park. Like, they don't have anything. They just like working like a program, like an NPC. And so millions of beings are being taken by this angel of death, the Azrael, and trapped in this like realm, and they can't get out. Like, they're still enslaved, and they're still like in this physical, except like it's a realm of the angels, and oh, like the big deal, they're free from earth, they're free from this, they're not sinners. And now they're just gears in the mechanism, completely brainwashed, completely mindless, and they're just like working things. And whew, that's kind of like it's kind of my mind-boggling, you know. So when I look at these things, like working with people and looking at these like like angelic beings, archangels, a lot of them might be good. Some of them might be helpful. Some of them might want to do good for you, and that's okay. But a lot of these beings will put a label, I am the Archangel Michael. And we have a billions of people lining up calling themselves Archangel Michael. And we have billions of other ETs, Andes, and like people who are labeling themselves as God or Jesus or someone else, Mother Mary, and they come to you with all their love, and you're, I'm your spirit guide, I'm your grandma, get the hell out of here, I don't want to know you and stuff. So it's kind of like these weirdos are trying to mess with us. And so if some of you might hear voices, some of you are going through this, you know, like basically start paying attention to who's talking to you, because a lot of times when we call out for help, and like especially for the, let's say, religious people, or like who are going for those talking to other beings and stuff, we call out for help, we have conversations, but then we might attract them, because one thing that might happen is like, oh, I want to communicate with other beings. And right now you're visible on the earth, on the human world. And then you start talking to beings that you don't see. Just trying to like, okay, who's here in the house with me? And you don't see anything. You might feel kind of like little different energies in the house, and you're trying to communicate, but you're calling out at them. And the thing is, it's like being a blind and a deaf person who doesn't see the entities, who doesn't hear them and all, but you are trying to turn on that ability, that clairvoyance, and that like ability where you are finally like trying to open up yourself and hear them or talk to them or see them. The thing is, you might not turn it on, but you start appearing in their world, and you're like a shining person, and they're like, hey, look, someone just appeared, let's go mess with them. And once they start talking to you, messing with you, if you can pick up their voice, it's like if you pick up, let's say, their voice, and you hear it like out loud, like, hey, like someone who's talking, like, you know, you look around and you hear it, but it's not here in your room. Or just a thought appears in your mind like telepathically, and you just get information, and you're like, hey, like someone's talking, you have this non-stop chatter in your head, like, just talking with yourself and with the other beings and stuff. That can happen. A lot of these beings, once they get your attention, once you start having a conversation with them, they're like, hey, this one noticed us, finally. It's like having a bully who is like trying to mess with people, like always being ignored, finally finds a victim, finally finds someone who pays attention and reacts to what they do. And now you have a bully messing with you, and you don't see them, you don't like really hear them, maybe you might pick up their thoughts and stuff, but you get messed with. And now you're getting like hurt, or you're getting like these thoughts popping at you and trying like, hey, you're an asshole, you're gonna reincarnate back on Earth. Oh, you're never gonna graduate from this reality, you should stay here. Oh, you're guilty, you're bad, da 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 da. One thing after another, they're trying to just like launch at you and try to make you feel bad, wrong, and guilty for whatever. And all this stuff is just to try to keep you here, enslaved in this prison world. And so these beings, you know, like once we start getting their attention, and we probably can't shake them off, like some of us cannot. Like you have groups, they finally notice like, hey, this one hears us, this one reacts to what we do, let's mess with this person. And they're just having fun. They're just like a group of beings who are like who've been bored their whole life and finally find someone, and you might be the one reacting to it and stuff. So one of the things that you can do about it is stop talking to them. Like the best way to get rid of the bully is to stop paying attention, and like you start ignoring them. You stop reacting, and they're trying to mess with you, and all of a sudden, like, hey, they're not getting the reaction, and you become boring to them. They're not getting anything out of you, so they have to move on and find someone else. So if you can shut your mind, if you can't shut up yourself, like just shut it all off, don't think, don't chit chat in your mind, and when these beings try to put the thoughts in your head, just don't react to it, okay? It's there, acknowledge it, but don't try to talk to them and stuff. Because then you stop the conversation and they cannot go back and forth, and all of a sudden, like, it's like talking to a wall. Eventually, you're gonna get bored. You're like, hey, how you doing? But minute passed, 2 minutes passed, 5 minutes passed. You're getting hungry, you want to do something else, and you move on. And all of a sudden, you forgot about the wall and that you did in the first place. Same with the other entities, beings, and archangels that are to mess with us. So that's one of the things that you can try. And I'm just saying, like these beings are like weirdos, and they're just trying to get us like enslaved, reincarnating, and stuff like that. So, hey, it's been a while since I've made videos. I just wanted to share this little finding, like this, like Archangel Azrael, the angel of death, trying to help people cross over. It ain't help. They're just trying to like get us in the other realms, and basically it's degrading us because people again like forget everything, and then they get brainwashed and like living for thousands of years doing one single action, like being an NPC, like programmed, and you're conscious but you're basically stuck and you can't do anything about it. It's kind of crazy, and the longer you live there, it's like having to go through a lot of these like hypnotic commands where they're saying things to you and you're experiencing it all, and you become like you become like a tool, and all of a sudden you're degrading spiritually. So when they take you out and put you back here on earth, you lose way more of who you were. And they're just trying to trap people, take away their abilities, drain them, and different things. And that's something to be aware of, and something to like say avoid. Like if you're not dealing with archons and archangels and stuff, don't. It's fine. If you are having any contact and think that some of them might be messing with you, just try to like back off and make sure like, hey, these beings are not good for me. So saying that, like, I'll be off to my own day and doing my own stuff. But hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone like being here with me on YouTube, and like, hey, I'm finally making a video. So thank you for being here with me. See you next time. Bye.